And these are on separate tracks. And again, we could just edit it, you know.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just
Like we could edit Greg completely
We just
out if we really
mute
wanted to.
Tony's track, actually.
You guys are interacting with him, so it'd be more hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, so ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the first episode of the Dev BootCast. We're 3 students attending Dev Boot Camp in Chicago. We just completed our second week, and we're on Friday after a long day. And all the way to my left here, Tony Ta.
Hello. Yeah, it's been a really long week considering that we're working with Greg.
And then to the center here is Greg Santikian. Is that correct, the pronunciation? I'm
Wait,
sorry.
it's Santikian?
No, that's correct. It's great to be here.
That's so awkward.
Thanks for having me, Ken.
Great.
And I'm Ken Luke. We're all, as said, in our second week of Dev Boot Camp, which is a 9-week program that's supposed to get us up to snuff to be hireable as junior developers. So, just as an intro, like, what made you guys decide to come here?
Well, I think we should start with Greg, right? He should have the honors here.
Well, I think just like everybody else here, I was kind of looking for something new. I'd been at a job that I was at for a number of years that wasn't really getting me anywhere, and I've always been interested in computers, so I figured, why not take the risk? And
Are we going to talk about who your employer is, or is that going to be...
I don't think we should bring it up.
Okay, sure.
I think we're gonna cast a pretty wide net with this podcast, and I don't want to get into any sort of like legal trouble.
Totally.
So what about you, Tony?
Yeah, so let's see. Came out of college with a biochem degree, and I've been working on the lab for the past 6 years, something like that, until I quit beginning of the year. Pretty much hated it. Didn't like what I was doing. Looked around, talked to some of my friends in San Francisco, and a lot of them are in tech just because it's the Bay Area. And when I talked to them, I'm like, man, wish I was doing that. What you were doing, like, wish I had a degree in computer science or whatever. It seems like you guys are doing great. And almost unanimously, all of them said, hey, you can do this whenever you want. You don't need a degree. And that's when I started looking into how I can get my foot in the door, as far as getting into tech, starting to program and stuff. And after a couple weeks of trying it on my own, I got a little frustrated. I'm sure that you guys did too, about not getting the foundational stuff, So I started looking into programs, and this seemed like the best one. Got in like a baller, you know what I'm saying? So, what about you?
Well,
Ken?
for me, I've tried various jobs, like working as an EMT on an ambulance.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
As
I should know that.
I didn't know that.
chemist at a paint company.
What?
Not really. My title was chemist. I wouldn't say my job involved that much actual chemistry.
Wait, why don't I know any of this?
Well,
I'm a
we just
bad
met
friend.
before.
That's what's going
so-
on.
Yeah.
And so
It's not all about you, Tony. You can ask other people questions. Not everybody wants to hear about you all the time.
Listen, Ken's trying to
So,
speak here.
Kenny, please continue.
Thanks for interrupting, but thanks for stopping the interruption as well. So basically, there were things I thought that would be interesting, but they'd always get pretty grinding and boring. And I was finding when talking to friends, it was always tech that was exciting to us. The newest thing someone was doing was inventing, was putting out. And after doing some research, I finally thought that Dev Boot Camp was worth a chance.
We should probably start over. Screwed up.
Don't worry, Ken. We could just edit
that
him
out.
out.
Yeah. I'm sure there's no
Embarrassing
problem with
forgetting.
confusion between
Greg.
Dev Bootcamp and
Yeah.
Dev Bootcast.
No.
No
I
one's
meant,
gonna get angry.
Oh,
at us.
wait.
I meant edit
That was
Greg
on-
out
that was on
completely.
That was on purpose? That's
No.
what.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
But okay.
Sorry.
We got off track.
So
Anyway,
back to Dev Bootcamp. It's a 9-week program. It costs about $12,000, and the point is to get you to know enough that someone would be comfortable potentially bringing you on the team to continue to learn. So, what made you guys think it was worthwhile? It seems kind of far-fetched, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. When I first heard of it, it definitely sounded like a scam. I don't know about you guys, but it's like what is going on here? Like, I'm gonna pay you money, and then I'm gonna come out of it making way more money than I'm doing that, like making now. You know, it just didn't make sense. But
Yeah, I definitely had the same feeling.
yeah. So in the beginning, I was very skeptical for sure. I mean, do you guys have the same experience where you did like a ton of research on it? And
Yeah, sure. But were there any specific things you found that reassured you that it was legit, not just a cash grab?
Definitely one of the things that I tried to look out for was alumni. Dev Bootcamp alumni who I think the San Francisco location does a lot of I'm not sure if they still do this, but they mandated blogging, or they highly encouraged that at least, and that really made me feel better about the program, seeing people blogging throughout their entire tenure at Dev Bootcamp, and basically just seeing them grow as a person and as a developer, you know, and then following their blog for months after that, when through job interviews and finding an employment, and you know, that really helped me kind of, I guess, believe in the program, or believe that something like this could be legit, you know.
Yeah, same for me. I remember seeing the couple of articles about Dev Bootcamp, and there was I can't remember if it was 60 Minutes or some like little news piece on TV about them that was on the internet, but it was mainly the blogs. I started like looking up people who had gone through the program, and it was all overwhelmingly positive. I didn't really find anything that was like this is a scam and I want my money back, that sort of thing. So that was ultimately the reason or why I felt comfortable.
Yeah, one of my Google searches was definitely Dev Bootcamp scam.
Yeah.
You know, I'm feeling lucky, you know. So, but yeah.
So yeah, for me, it was much of the same thing. Talking to actual grads, and specifically, I also looked up the founders. Found Sharif. He actually did a few TED Talks.
Oh, really?
So that made me feel quite a bit better about him. I think he's from Intel, like a senior programmer or something like that. And if you check out Jesse Farmer, who's no longer associated with Dev Bootcamp, but he answered a lot of good questions.
On Stack Overflow, right? Or Quora.
Yeah,
was
Quora,
it? Yeah.
Reddit, Stack Overflow, I believe. And so, yeah, all those things together made me think it was worth taking a chance on this.
Yeah, so the Jesse Farmer thing, I definitely hit those links as well on my search, and one of the things that kind of gave me pause was he answered all those questions, but then he apparently left Dev Bootcamp, and then amended his comments with, "Well, I don't work here anymore, you know, but so things might be different." So and that kind of give me pause, you know. But I did read a couple blogs from I think there was a girl who went through San Francisco, Natasha the robot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That was the main one that I would
Definitely.
follow. Yep.
You know, she wrote like an ebook too. that
I bought
read.
it.
You bought it?
Yeah, I did buy it.
Yeah, me too. Did she send you an email?
Yeah.
Like, hey,
yeah.
did you reply to her?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe I should. Maybe we should. Yeah. But that definitely made me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you guys have any other thoughts about, say, the other concerns of attending Dev Boot Camp? The hiring stance in particular, or putting your life on hold for 3 months?
Well, I mean, my life where it was kind of sucked. So like, I had no qualms about quitting my job. In fact, that was kind of a short-term goal for me. I couldn't wait to start, just so I can quit my job. I was in a pretty bad place, you know. So as far as taking a risk, you know, because you know things might not pan out or anything like that. Like, I was so encouraged by talking to all my friends in tech and finding out about all the opportunities that to me is like, you know, I'm gonna find something out there. Something's gonna happen, you know, and I can just leave that whole chemistry life behind me. So yeah, I guess I didn't have any hesitation, really.
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally pretty risk averse person, so this was definitely out of character for me to do.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I just kind of realized that I don't really have much to lose, because I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing before, and you know, just need to shake things up. I was watching there's a show, Party Down, that was on. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it.
What channel is it on?
It was on
What's
Showtime. It was
Party
I think it was
Down?
on Showtime.
What
Yeah,
is
it was
it?
a great show. There was one episode when Steve Gutenberg was on an episode, and he was telling these guys who are all like aspiring actors, no risk, no reward. And I was like, yeah, Steve Gutenberg, you're right. Sometimes you got to take risks to actually move ahead.
And then you march up to your boss's office and you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I
Can we
quit.
swear on this show or no?
Can you swear?
Yeah, we encourage it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Are you serious?
Just-
Are we on the air right now?
I was just,
Like-
it's not my show, so
They'll
I didn't know.
they'll
I
bleep
think
us
it is
out.
your show.
Yeah.
It's not my show.
The higher ups will, you know, they'll have
Can
a
edit
certain
edit
thing to
out
do.
the curse words.
Anyway, what exactly were you gonna say?
Well, maybe I'll say something in the future. Not.
Oh,
time's
I
passed.
thought you had like something to say right now.
No, I was gonna drop an F-bomb, but I decided not to, and now the moment's passed. So
Prudent.
there's no
prudent,
point.
yeah.
No point. Just saying fuck. Just for the hell of it.
Be sure to interrupt Tony with it.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 weeks in, we've been coming in here around a little before 8, and typically I would say we'd leave around 8 also, 8, 9.
Yeah, some days even much later than that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
2 o'clock for you.
2:00. Yeah, forgot my keys. Had to wake Ken up. He's still sleep deprived from that. But but yeah, we've been having real late nights, long days. And one of the things when we came in was they told us lunch breaks. You know, you get an hour and a half, take them, stop coding. And I guess like we didn't get it when we started, right? It's like, oh, I don't know, I could work through lunch, whatever. But like, yeah, it's just kind of an unofficial policy so that we don't really burn ourselves out, you know, because otherwise we're coding all day and just, yeah.
Yeah, I wondered why. I thought it was kind of curious why the lunch breaks were so long. Hour and a half just seemed like overkill, but it's definitely nice to step away from the computer, especially when you're here for like 12 hours a day. So.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose so that you don't just eat, get your food, come back, eat, and jump right back in. You actually have a little time to sit down. So as far as the first 2 weeks, what do you guys think of it? What were the highs? What were the lows? Anything stand out to you guys?
Well, what did we learn last week? Last week was mostly Ruby, right? And catch up on
yeah,
Ruby.
it's like Ruby basics, algorithms, and
Ruby drills.
yeah.
We saw the Sudoku thing.
Mhm.
Built like a terminal racer
Yeah.
program. That was cool.
There was some object-oriented stuff, but it didn't seem like that was the focus. Definitely this week.
Yeah, so the
all
first week
OP.
felt like it was catch up, just like to remind ourselves like how the program, because like a lot of us took a little bit of time off to move to Chicago, and also to instill like I feel instill like good what was it called? It's a good habits. So like when we're coding and like one of the instructors catches like a bad habit, like, oh, don't do this, so I felt like it kind of got us back into that. And then like you said, second week, which is this week, object oriented, real heavy into
I
that.
just realized I have a mic on my headphones too. I don't know if that.
No, I don't think it's
Okay.
gonna pick up.
Man, you're like super
Sorry, I don't want to
awkward.
get meta here.
Wait, are we allowed to swear? Is that-
Fuck no.
Maybe I should have asked these questions before we
Yeah.
started recording. but I noticed you're very well prepared here. I got everything bullet pointed out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try to prepared. So some of the challenges. So most of the stuff we do here at Dev Bootcamp is challenge based. They'll tell you a situation. They'll tell you to meet these requirements, and then we write something out. So a lot of them are kind of silly, but how do you guys feel about it? I mean, we haven't done anything you could actually probably show someone. And
Well, there was one thing.
this
Bernie's
race.
Bernie's market. Bernie's restaurant.
Bernie's restaurant was a good one. Yeah. So that's, I mean, we shouldn't really go too far into it since it's an assessment, right?
We're still working on
We don't want
closing-
future
closing the sale.
students to. Oh, yeah.
at Bernie's.
Yeah, like most of the things we worked on were they were more contrived, I guess, just to like pick at specific points. But yeah, like the Ruby Racer thing, that was a fun thing that we did. Solving Sudoku puzzles, that's something that you could actually like show people, like, hey, my program could actually like solve this, this puzzle. And like you said, the Bernie's restaurant terminal, or what, recipe terminal,
Yes.
that was really great. Can you tell us a little bit about Bernie?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not just for Bernie. It's for anybody who would like to keep track of all their recipes that they've
All
collected
three of
over
them,
the
right?
years. Yep, through the terminal. So it's very specific
using
market.
argv,
But
arguments.
for anybody out there that's who's had that issue of.
Yeah, so just for anyone that doesn't know what the terminal is, basically we've been writing programs that would print out text. So we made a
onto the
thing
command line. Yeah.
that would store recipes and take commands via text and show. Maybe I'm sharing too much.
No, I mean, it's pretty basic, and I think at the end of this week, we just started kind of getting into the concept of what's it, model view controller, MVC.
MVC.
And Greg's here, known as the MVC MVP.
Yeah.
Yep.
So good at it.
I'm
Tell us
just
how
the
you
best
got
at
that
it,
name.
actually. Just generally being, well, I think I'm regarded as being probably the most competent programmer at DBC Chicago.
If not just most
in the building.
valuable in general.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still a student, but I'm also a teacher. I feel like I got a lot of knowledge to share with people in my cohort, as well as the fellow instructors. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I got the name.
Especially your best buddy.
Oh, we're gonna get into that now.
No, I
It's,
think
Um,
maybe someday Greg can bring him on and interview.
That's your best. Let's not go into that. Yeah.
Okay, so beyond the first week and basically teaching us how to program, one of the things Dev Bootcamp emphasizes is soft skills and learning how to work with people. And so basically every day we're working with one other student here, one-on-one on challenges. And on Friday, we actually mixed it up into larger teams of 4 or 5 people. So what do you guys think of that experience so far?
Pair programming was something that I was completely unprepared for. It just didn't make sense to me, since I took some CS classes in college, and all it was like, here's your task, do it, and I think we were doing like C++. This was a while back, but like Dev Bootcamp is like firm believer in pair programming, where you basically you have 2 people sitting at one computer and programming together. And I guess the point is you end up writing better code because you're constantly checking each other, and it's a weird experience because I'm used to working on my own, for most things, not just programming, but yeah, you have to learn how to deal with people, especially someone like Greg. Could be difficult.
Cheap shot.
and yeah, and it's interesting because there are some personalities that you're compatible with, the workflow is like really easy, and there are some people who are just as competent, but your personalities might clash, and it's not like a personal thing because you can be friends with this person outside of pairing, but then when you're sitting down with them in front of one computer, trying to wrestle control away from the the cursor or whatever, like it gets difficult. So yeah.
How about for you, Greg? What were good parts? What were bad parts of pairing?
Yeah, I think like Tony said, I mean, it's not something going into it that I was very excited about. I thought, I worked better on my own, and I wasn't, too keen on working with somebody else on a daily basis. But it's super helpful though. I mean, I'm surprised how much you learn when you're pairing with somebody else.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Not just coding, but learning to like work with others and learning to, deal with another person. I think that's, something that is like a side benefit, or maybe not a side benefit, but like a benefit that goes along with actually speeding up your...
Yeah, definitely. Like not just the technical skills, but
Yeah.
and to be clear, we're pairing like almost 100% of the time. There's very little time where we do have solo work. I think on Thursdays, is it? That it's like a day where you can choose to do solo work. And if you're like here after hours working on like stretch goals or whatever, you can do solo work. But like most of the time here during core hours, you're pairing.
Yeah.
And you're rotating pairs, and you're
Sure.
working with different people all the time.
It seems like there's like talking out ideas a lot of times helps with you. Like if you get like stuck on a particular part of a program, it like doing it solo when you're kind of inside your own head. A lot of times, for me personally, I'll get stuck on a particular part of a program, but just kind of like having that dialogue with somebody else, like it just makes you, I don't know if there's something
when you have to like the ideas in your head, when you have to like come out and put them in words, it's like you're constantly rubber ducking. You're constantly trying.
I'm not familiar with that.
Rubber ducking? You don't know what that means?
No.
It's I'm not sure exactly what the definition is, but it's basically like if you're programming and you get stuck, one of the things they tell you to do is to rubber duck it, which means it's basically like have a rubber duck in front of you,
squeeze it or talk
and
to it,
and describe to the rubber duck your problem. So basically, if you verbalize what your problem is, a lot of times the answer just becomes apparent.
Yeah, and I notice it too when instructors come over when you're stuck and they want you to explain what the problem is, and while you're explaining it, you realize what the problem is yourself. Like just because you're using it, you might be using a different part of your brain when you're actually like vocalizing what what you're trying to say. I don't know. None of that made any sense, but I think you get the gist.
Let's see. So one other thing DBC likes to emphasize is something they call engineering empathy, or EE here. So it'll involve, say, once a week, like a group discussion. One week, I think it was on how women are underrepresented in technology, and we kind of went around and talked about that. Do you guys remember what the second week thing
Second week was about superego, but the first week it was more broadly it was about oppression and how systemic oppression can manifest itself even if you don't actively participate in the actual oppression. So one thing is like women in tech. There can be this like boys club mentality that discourages women from participating in tech. Not only that, there's a systemic. I'm not even sure how to describe it, but like young girls are discouraged from going to math and sciences, and that starts the ball rolling. So that when you get to the point where you're hiring programmers, there's not many female candidates out there, and then there's the extra added layer of maybe discrimination at that top level because people aren't used to seeing female programmers. So that was the topic of last week, and I don't know, maybe it's something that we should have a female perspective on. Where we're just a bunch of dudes up here talking about it. But
Talking about women's issues.
And like it's something that we don't have. We don't have that perspective, But it was good to sit down and like talk about it in a formal way where we feel safe expressing ourselves, as well as hear that perspective from others. And then the second week was about superego, which can you tell us a little bit about that, Greg?
Yeah, I can try.
Because Greg has a super ego.
Thanks, Ken.
What's your super ego is that telling you right now?
I don't know if I remember like a ton about the EE superego thing, but what I guess, and I think it kind of goes along with the superego thing that we had, but it's surprising to know how similar everybody kind of feels during the program, and feelings of self-doubt, and I don't know, it's kind of comforting to know that everybody kind of goes through the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
No, that's
exposing your own vulnerabilities and trying to vocalize them, because sometimes we end up internalizing these doubts, and they end up holding us back, and if we if we verbalize them, and actually say them out loud, we end up realizing how damaging they can be. So that way we're at least self-aware and know about them, instead of just, I guess, ignoring them and having them affect us subconsciously in a way that damages our progress as programmers and as human beings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did have advice for Tony though after that, and
What's that?
I did let him know that his superego is right. He should listen to his superego. It's the smart thing to do.
Really?
Yeah.
That can be hurtful though, can't it?
Truth hurts.
If you haven't noticed yet, Greg and I, we have this thing where he just hates himself, and I make it very apparent that there are reasons to hate him, and that's and that's about it.
So
Okay, I can't get us out of here.
yeah.
Can't say anything. Don't have a comeback for that, Greg?
I don't know. I feel weird. Like I typically don't talk into a microphone, so I don't feel like
I think you do, Greg.
like I don't know what you're referring to, but
Yeah, what does that mean?
yeah, what's that supposed to mean, Ken? Let's not go blue here. This is a family show.
I don't think it is.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Just not. It's not like a
No
normal.
words. He's got no
it's not
words.
like a
see?
normal like conversation that I'm having with somebody. I definitely feel like it's yeah, I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe on stage a little bit. So I don't know if I should go funny or go serious.
You definitely shouldn't go meta. That's for sure. You know. Anyway, going back to the engineering empathy thing, I think, yeah, I mean, do you guys find it super helpful? Because I'm still waiting for. I appreciate it, you know, and I can see. I am excited to see where it's heading, but right now I don't think I'm getting any direct benefit from it other than just increased self-awareness, and that's it, right? Which I guess is important in its own right.
Yeah, I definitely feel more self-aware after those EE. I'm serious.
Is
I
that
think
a
it's-
good thing or a bad?
I don't know. I'm
you?
pretty self-aware to begin with, to a fault. So it might be a bad
True.
thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. As I sit here sweating through my shirt because I'm on a microphone.
There you are again, the meta thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of agree. I thought it was interesting. Not sure I got anything totally incredibly insightful out of it, but that was like one of the things I noticed that people would point to when researching boot camps as choosing dev boot camp or not choosing it. Some people would want to avoid this type of thing. So
Yeah, it was definitely something that when I heard that there was going to be, you know, like yoga and improv, I wasn't super excited about that.
I mean,
and I
it's,
was
it's,
wondering
it's
why.
fucking weird. It's like
Yeah.
you're not used to that when you're looking at a program that like an accelerated learning program. you
Sure.
know, but
Like my first thought is like, well, can't we just cut that out and do more programming instead?
yeah.
But
But I definitely appreciate the yoga. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
something that
I've never done yoga before, and it's
I feel
I
great.
actually
I feel
really
great
enjoy
every
it.
Monday and Wednesday morning when we do it. I
Yeah.
feel great, you know.
So I don't really have anything else planned. Anything else you guys feel like talking about before we get off?
Let's talk about Greg.
wow.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. What do you got, Greg?
You know, I didn't mention this today, but I did have a dream last night.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
So Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone were relatives of mine, and we were all having dinner.
Wait, is that true or is that part of the dream?
Oh yeah, it's part of the dream.
Okay,
I
I don't
mean,
know.
It would
Like
be
maybe
a dream if they were like related to me, but
I thought you were saying they're related to you, and then here's the dream on top of that.
no, I usually don't remember my dreams, but this was, I guess, noteworthy enough for me.
Yeah,
to have them sitting at dinner with me, and I remember like having to console Sylvester Stallone, like because his career hasn't really been all that great in maybe the last like 15, 20 years now.
Poor guy.
Yeah, and
Van Damme, he's doing great.
no,
Like,
he's not doing great either. Like
He's
I
not?
felt
Yeah, he's
Van.
like straddling.
What is he doing?
All those
Big rig,
commercials?
dude.
What commercials?
You see the commercial?
Oh,
where
the one
he's-
where
Yeah,
he's doing the
he's doing
like
fine.
scissor kick or whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, go on, please.
Yeah, I just I just remember that I had to like be like, yeah, you know, like all those movies that you did when I was younger were very influential for me, like just to kind of like boost his ego a little bit, because I saw that he was kind of feeling down.
Poor guy.
So that's what I wanted to share.
So
have
were they
any dreams
actually-
to share, Tony?
Do I have any dreams? I've realized lately that I haven't been dreaming, and I think it's just because I'm so. I actually, you know what? I've been dreaming a lot in code.
Yeah, me too.
That's happening a ton.
Cannot stop
Yeah,
dreaming in
where it's
code.
like like you're looking at a problem and then you fall asleep, and then like I wake up in the middle of the night like I got it. I reach for my laptop.
got
and,
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
more
garbage.
often than not, it's just garbage. It's
Yeah.
true. Thanks, Greg.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, just so happy to get sleep in general.
Yeah, I cannot wait to go home and go to bed tonight and not wake up at 6 a.m.
I forgot about that. That's gonna be great. Yeah.
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 Okay.
You got any dreams?
do
You
a-
got anything to
Do a
share?
heart
us?
out here? Or?
Let
Oh.
me see.
I wonder what the sign out's gonna be like, or sign off, right?
Heart out.
Hard.
Hard iris and stare at the camera.
Yeah, I forgot about the camera.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Cool.
Well, that about wraps it up, huh?
So we're still coming up with ideas as far as what to discuss. We've talked about bringing on guests.
Wouldn't you have to buy another microphone? Or
No,
we're
well,
gonna get rid of
or
you.
am I a guest?
You're
First guest.
not a guest. It's just
I was just testing out the microphone.
you're just
for
not
you guys.
just not working out.
It does
that's all.
work.
No, actually,
Is this thing on?
I think we're gonna be rotating out. I don't know who's gonna be in, but
Yeah.
I think we're gonna try to have different people in from our cohort,
Totally.
graduates, hopefully people in the industry. So if you'd have anything that you'd like us to cover, talk about our experience here, you can reach us at Twitter on DevBootcast @DevBootcast or at Gmail @DevBootcast. And
Totally. Yeah.
do you guys want to share your do you want to let people contact you guys? That sounds a bit tentative.
Not sure yet. We'll see what replies we get.
So mysterious.
Yeah. Want to stay under the radar,
Yeah.
Like
What about you, Greg?
I have a Twitter. It's Gsantikian.
How do you
but
spell it?
I don't really look at it, but I guess it's G S sorry if I'm sounded annoyed by that question. GSANTIKIAN.
yeah, I mean, what the hell? Tony Ta @Tony Ta TONYTA. It's just I don't really check it, but maybe I should start. Maybe we should all tweet more.
I hear it's all the rage in the
It's all
tech industry.
Yeah, the kids love it.
Yep.
And
So tweet me, guys.
and I'm at Sudoku P Sudo code, which is impossible to write out, I think.
Wait,
So-
are you serious?
Yes.
Has it always been like that, or is this like a new?
Is this
I
ever
keep-
since Friday?
No, I keep
Last
changing
Friday?
it. I can't decide on the name, but
Do you say the code Sudoku?
Sudoku piece. What was it again?
so basically it's Sudoku pseudocode minus the E because it doesn't allow that many characters. So
Huh.
it ends up being
Interesting.
Sudoku a P and then sudo like super user and
Su-
then code.
I'm glad you picked something that people can remember.
Yeah, everyone knows that the secret to becoming popular on Twitter is to make yourself obscure
Definitely.
and difficult to spell.
Anyway, this will all be in the show notes, right?
Yeah, and I think we're gonna post some of the more interesting challenges, including Tony's racer. So we'll probably explain what it is. Show
Oh
a
yeah,
little
my
GIF.
sperm racer. That's the one. Yeah, definitely. Gotta share that with people.
Absolutely.
So I guess we say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Tony Ta.
I'm Greg.
And Ken, thank you for listening.